Welcome to another week of Barstool Perspective, where we give you a rundown of the week's news in booze. Bret, I got nothing else witty to add this week.
That's all right. Cheers. Glad you all could make it. Those of you who are here in chat, for those of you looking at the VOD or video on demand, as they call it, thanks for tuning in.
Just said. Sure.
Leave us a comment, ask questions, whatever. We're here to talk about the latest in alcohol news. And at the end of the show, we're going to give you our top 5 beer pardons for the week. Because pardons seems to be the theme of the week.
They're the thing. They're very popular.
Oh, Owen, Lager Than Life. Good to see you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Let's just jump right into it. We have some breaking news. Yes, breaking news. I know.
We
don't break news.
Do we have audio for that?
Producer Dan, do we have breaking news audio? Can you key us up something?
A graphic.
All right, we'll have something that's going to be delayed a little bit. In breaking news, crap. Do we have 2 episodes of breaking news this week?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't? You weren't here for the other one. Mike was in court all morning.
Yeah.
Before we get to the news, Mike. That's why we're also talking about pardons. Mike was out shopping for some pardons in court. I don't think you were successful though.
I was not. Apparently, bribery requires more than $25.
$25 in the courtesy
get out of a
reach
parking
around.
ticket.
The FBI has executed a search warrant on the Nebraska Liquor Control Commission.
It's about time.
Apparently, the executive director, Hobart Roop, was up to no good. There's not a lot of details being shared right now, but he has officially been suspended without pay by the commission, and the FBI did raid their headquarters last night.
So this is their state liquor enforcement agency.
Yes. Now, Mike, we can only do one responsible thing here, and it's wildly speculate on what we think happened.
First of all, that guy was named after a garden gnome. That's the baseline.
Yeah, I got a Hobart Roop model. He's got a shovel.
Yeah. I don't know. I would say that is Nebraska a control state like Ohio?
No.
I don't know. It's bribery somewhere, but somebody's taking kickbacks on something. If Nebraska was a control state, that would be my immediate go-to of who was taking bribes and what they looked like.
Yeah, I'm going to double check and look it up here really quick, but Mike, that's the only thing I can think of too. When we were out at lunch today doing our research on local dive bars in the area of Cincinnati, we saw that our bartender was pouring us glasses in a Bud Light branded glass, and right prior to that one was a Yuengling branded glass. Now granted, these were 22-ounce glasses, so they're a little bit more expensive than your standard pint. They're also shaped nicely. So we asked him, Mike.
We shared one, of course.
Yes.
Because responsibility and whatnot.
Yeah, we only had one. We definitely, and Mike had none because he drove. So as we were drinking our one beer between 3 guys, we asked the bartender, Mike, did you pay for these glasses? And he proceeded to tell us how he paid $300 for his seeing glasses on his face. And then when we clarified, no, the beer glasses, Mike, how much were the beer glasses? He said, oh, I didn't pay anything for these. They are given to us.
Yeah.
Which is against the law in Ohio. You're not allowed to take free shit from distributors or breweries.
Right.
Specifically, glasses is called out in the law of do not take free glasses. You have to at least pay something for the glasses.
That's right, but even signage, if there's value to it, They're not supposed to be giving you, window signs and mirrors and any of that stuff.
Let alone building coolers or bar backs or whatever the case, giving you coolers. Anything and everything you can think in a bar has probably been given to a bar somewhere at some point. Yeah. So the fact that it's that rampant at a low level, it's got to be rampant at a higher macro level. Yes. So this guy is absolutely on the take. That's it. It can only be that. Why else would they have
our speculation, our irresponsible speculation?
Yes, is that he's on the take.
Is that the guy named after a garden gnome is on the take? But yes,
I mean
somebody I would say is giving him a kickback for something.
Didn't PG Sittenfeld here of Cincinnati fame also go to jail because of bribery on a council level?
You know what, Bret?
Didn't the FBI get involved?
Now it's just about like a war on sleazy rich people. And we are balancing the ledger on that. You know, it's the
Okay,
same
fair.
thing. Remember, like, you know, Biden pardoned people for weed offenses. It's the same thing. Just like, you know, it's about time we end the persecution of really rich people.
Nebraska is not a control state, just to confirm. So
Okay.
it makes me really curious to see what's going on there. Then there could be potentially like, you know, illicit attacks on, you know, clamping down on certain distributors that aren't carrying certain products, and competition, stifling. It could be anything. I'm really curious. Money was definitely exchanged hands illegally, though.
Yeah.
Like if we have to speculate wildly, which we are.
Well, I mean, the FBI doesn't typically just raid your business.
Hey, what's up? We're here for our annual raid audit.
I don't know. I mean, these days, he might have had a Harris yard sign. he's either on the take and a criminal, or just a registered Democrat.
Well, a registered Democrat in Nebraska is not a
Oh, that
common
guy's
thing.
going to jail.
Oh, you know, we have another gnome that usually tunes in. I don't know, Gnarly, if you're out there or not, but if you know Hobart, let us know.
Yeah, I'm sure they go to conventions.
With sales flatlining, Anheuser-Busch is looking to expand their portfolio into non-alcoholic beverages, and I'm not talking about non-alcoholic alcohol. I'm talking about energy drinks.
Oh, well, good. Don't they already own energy drinks?
Yes.
It's not already part of their portfolio?
Yes, but they don't own an energy drink that's licensed with UFC and Dana White, but now they do.
Oh, well, that's going to make all the difference.
Form Energy has been announced, and they are looking to add more crap to the crap aisle. They are going to launch a big campaign with UFC to promote Form Energy. That's going to, you know, sponsor flavors such as Screamin' Freedom, which is an American abuse of patriotism on a can that's flavored like a rocket pop. So there we go. Are you inclined to drink more energy drinks?
No.
Are you inclined to believe energy drinks are going to continue to grow?
Yeah. I think they are going to continue to grow for dual reasons. One is the sugar addiction, the national sugar addiction, is continuing to get worse rather than improving. And secondly, you know, yes, taco tariffs, they're on, they're off, etc. But still, I think that there's going to be enough disruption that we're going to see enough increases in coffee prices that, first of all, you have a generational thing where instead of drinking coffee, people are getting their caffeine from these shitty sugar water energy drinks. Secondly, people that drink both of them may start drinking more shitty water, sugary drinks.
Point. Because caffeine, you can isolate it, you can synthesize it, and you don't need coffee for caffeine. So yeah, if energy drinks are a way around coffee, that's an interesting take.
Can we snort it? I mean,
Caffeine?
Is there anything that legally prevents you from like doing like a powdered caffeine?
I have powdered caffeine in the
rails
brewery
of it?
right now.
Really?
Oh, it'll absolutely wreck you.
Do you do rails of it?
No, no, a rail of caffeine would kill you. That is too much caffeine. Just inhaling the dust is enough to get your heartbeat elevated and you to have a caffeine come down.
Wow.
Like pure caffeine is dangerous. It's dangerous, and you can just buy it. You can just buy it online. You can buy enough that, whatever, mess people up.
What I'm hearing from you is that it's better than Coke, and we're going to do a couple rails of it.
Caffeine key bumps at Urban Artifact this afternoon. Come on down. Moving on. Actually, one more thing on the energy drink thing.
Yeah. It gives you wings.
They're not a sponsor. I don't know what brand you're talking about. There's a lot of talk globally from rich banks and investment firms about how drinks in general is set to grow. And what they really mean is that sugary energy drinks globally is going to drive drinks globally to increase.
Yeah.
Do you buy it? Is there a big market for energy drinks in India and China? Are we going to see an uptake of Forum Energy or Red Bull across the globe?
Again, probably. It probably takes from It takes from coffee. It probably also takes from sodas. And, globally, life is getting harder for most people who weren't born rich. So people are working more jobs, they're working longer, and these energy drinks are going to be cheaper than coffee, and they're going to have more caffeine in them. They're going to be more cost effective than sodas. It's sort of like a high ABV beer.
Yeah.
That whole thing, that was part of a trend in the beer industry where like ABV above 8%, that was a growing thing because people were like, I get my money's worth. I think energy drinks are the same principle in the caffeine, sugary, shitty, stay awake to drive a cab kind of
So
scenario.
another terrible global export coming out of America is going to be energy drinks.
Yeah.
Globalizing to a better, higher degree.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you're not wrong, and I guess people are people everywhere. We're not unique in America in our love for sugar and overly caffeinated things. So yeah, okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, Kroger.
Fuck 'em. Next story.
You might be wondering how this pertains to alcohol. Well, Kroger is one of the biggest in Ohio. They're the biggest alcohol sales company, and they are in a lot of states that they operate in, as are most chains and grocery stores. But we're going to talk about Kroger because recently it was just brought to light that, unsurprisingly, your personal data, and I'm not talking about like your credit card information, I'm talking about your shopping habits,
Yes.
your buying habits,
Yes.
that personal data is being sold for profit by Kroger
course it is.
without your consent or knowledge.
Yeah, of course it is.
Now, layer that on to the fact that they are also lying about sales. And things actually aren't for sale when they're saying they're for sale, or vice versa. They're raising prices and then artificially lowering them through a sale or whatever else. So
You mean they just like market everyday low price, or this is sale, or
yeah. They'll gouge you on the price for 2 weeks, and then they'll say it's on sale for 12 months out of the year.
yeah, classy.
Yeah. So but really they're just selling it for the MSRP anyway. But they're saying it's on sale because those 2 weeks of the year it was more
Bumped it
expensive.
up.
Yeah, now they can legally claim, or so they claim. So I don't know, Mike. I don't know what to tell you. I like Kroger because they buy a lot of our beer. Are you surprised? What I worry is that, okay, you're selling my data. Great. Every company on earth is currently trying to harvest and sell our data to each other in some ever increasing pyramid scheme of bullshit built around your dollars in your wallet. What really worries me, though, is that data that's being built and factored around you, Mike, on the internet, is a liability if the health insurance companies start buying it.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
That's where you run into problems.
100%.
Oh, you buy candy
doing
3 times a week, Mike?
Yeah.
Declined.
Yeah, if you don't think that Fitbit that you wear, the way you track your steps and you monitor, blood sugar and all sorts of shit like that with like a wristwatch, that data is definitely being sold. If not now, in the future, it's going to be sold to insurance companies, 100%. Used to jack up your rates, etc.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no good that's going to come from any of this.
No. Well, there's the bottom line, Bret. It's America, and it's going to benefit the bottom line and the stockholder.
Non-alcoholic beer is set to overtake ale as the second biggest beer category. Lager being number 1 at 92% of all beer sold.
Yeah.
Number 2 is set to be non-alcoholic beer. Are you shocked?
Yeah.
Do you think it's actually going to happen? Because this
No.
also says if current trends continue by 2029,
Yeah,
which they
okay.
expect, but like that's not going to happen.
That's because growth came out of right.
4 more years of non-alcoholic explosive growth.
Bret,
I'm not buying it.
if the son that you had and named after me, if his growth rate continues, he's going to be 10 feet tall. I mean, that's fun with math, but it's bullshit. No,
I don't buy it either.
It's not true.
There's still going to be growth to be had in non-alcoholic. But at the end of the day, they're not selling anything of value. You're not selling a positive. You're selling a lack of something. And that generally isn't a good, long-standing sales tactic. You got to sell a benefit, not a lack of something as the benefit.
Right. Ask the Democratic Party.
Also, like, that's good. We're not Trump. It's not a good selling point. This isn't a political podcast, though. This is a beer podcast. This is an alcohol podcast. Show, whatever we are.
Losers.
Yeah, okay. Yep, that tracks.
Drunks.
That tracks. Drunks, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, non-alcs. It's gonna grow, but it's not gonna. I mean, come on. Let's be real here.
There's a cap
I'll buy
on
tea.
it.
I'll buy coffee. I'll go buy soda. I'll just drink water. Why would I? Who's buying this non-alcoholic beer? I'll buy THC. I'll buy hemp. I'll buy anything else. I'm not spending my money on a fake beer.
I mean it. Part of the problem is the price of it too. Like,
if it was $1, I'd buy it.
I buy. That whole concept of zebra striping that we have talked about, which just means like drinking something non-alcoholic between alcoholic drinks. I get that as a sort of easier way to moderate. You know, that's easier than drinking slowly, right?
Yeah.
I fuck that one up all the time. So I understand it conceptually, and non-alcoholic beers suck less than they used to.
Yeah, this is true.
But they still suck. And the good ones are more expensive than real beer.
Gnome wants to know if ale includes all the categories of ale as an IPA, amber ale, and it does. It's all that.
Really?
Which is nuts. So basically, craft beer as a whole is kind of lumped into that, and NA is set to outsell craft beer as a whole, is what they're saying. But again, we're not buying it. We're not buying it. Mike, you know one thing we are going to buy? Plane tickets to Saudi Arabia, because they just announced, rumored to announce soon, that they're going to allow alcohol sales at up to 600 different destinations within their country.
Wow, how very progressive of them.
Is that making you more inclined to go to the 2034 World Cup and watch soccer and drink some beers?
No.
In Saudi Arabia in the middle of the summer?
No. I think I said all I need to say about Saudi Arabia in previous episodes. Thanks for 9/11, motherfuckers.
I wondered, when we were putting the story in, I wondered if 9/11 was going to happen.
It happened. Thanks, Saudi Arabia. I mean, we didn't need those big, tall buildings.
But Bush didn't think so either.
Right?
Forbes has put out an article that says large craft beer festivals are dying, small ones are thriving. Now, they backed it up obviously with a couple data points, but I kind of want to talk about that more holistically because I actually kind of think it's true. Obviously, the data is showing the Great American Beer Festival is dying. Some of the bigger festivals in and around other states and cities are also starting to slow. But what they're saying is they're seeing a resurgence of small, niche, focused festivals.
Yeah.
And I can see
where craft beer started, where beer festivals started, back when they were actually fun and they were about creative beers.
Yeah, so why were they fun? Why were big festivals fun back in the day?
Because you could go get really unique beers. You could taste things, really creative beers.
Things you haven't had before.
That you hadn't had before. You know, it's styles you hadn't had before. It's takes and versions. But what has made the bigger beer festivals have gotten, the more homogenous they have actually gotten. And I mean, we have that problem with the industry as a whole, that we reach this level of competition where it seems counterintuitive, but you get less diversity of flavors and styles the more breweries you have. So, you know, you got a festival that takes up an entire conference center and people go and get hammered drinking like everybody's hazy IPA, and it's just like they're not really, the beers aren't very good. They are keyed and geared mostly to get people shit-faced drunk. So I hate them. I mean, I don't go to those festivals.
Well, that's exactly right. Everything you said is right. So to expand on that a little bit more, what we see is, one, like, brewers aren't encouraged to be there anymore. So it's a sales rep if you're lucky, or it's just volunteers, and that's it. And no one from the brewery at all, sales rep or anyone else aside. And these festival, runners anymore, because things have slowed a little bit and they're not seeing the same amount of growth, they don't care. They just care about the bottom line. So the ask we get is, we want 4 beers that cannot be more than this amount of dollars per keg, and we're only buying this amount. Now, if you spend more money and sponsor us, we'll give you a second spot, and you can have, one of those 4 beers, and we'll buy 10 of them, and we'll put you at a quick serve booth or some stupid shit. What's even the point of a quick serve booth aside from getting people as drunk as possible, as quick as possible?
Right.
Like, it defeats the whole purpose of having a conversation with the person who made and crafted the thing. So they're doing it to themselves. The homogenization is happening because they won't spend money on unique things. They're not rewarding craft. They want homogenization, and they want to encourage people to just get drunk as possible because they don't give a shit.
As long as the one true religion in this country is the bottom line, everything is going to keep getting shittier.
It'll eventually all go to that. And the less they care, as now they're running the festival, and they're like, you're obviously not caring anymore if you don't want to spend money on the beers I care the most about.
Right.
So if you don't care, why am I going to care? Why am I going to waste my time going to a festival to talk to people who don't even want to talk to me anyway, and just drink whatever the highest ABV thing is?
Right.
Tell me it tastes like shit, and then move on to the next thing and look for the next hazy IPA.
Yeah.
Like, okay, great. I want to waste my fucking weekend signing up for that. Huffing farts all weekend. Like, no, get the hell out of here. That's the beauty, though, of the small beer festival.
They kiss your ass.
You're not wrong, but it's both sides. They kiss ass on both sides.
Yeah.
They're kissing the consumer's ass because they're bringing in great beers, and they're kissing the brewer's ass because they got to make it up to them for all the shit that they've done, all these other festivals have done to ruin what a beer festival is.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for it. Like, as a beer drinker and lover myself, we still do love beer.
It is. I mean, we talked about it a million times, whatever, and you can definitely crawl up your own ass over what's craft and what's not. But at the end of the day, there is this concept of craft beer, and it was about artistry, it was about flavor, it was about creativity, and it is. I think a lot of these big craft beer festivals now, they're the equivalent of having like an art fair that's only like that dude that paints lighthouses,
Yeah.
It's just like a bunch of corporate art. The guy that paints lighthouses and posters with like a boat that say teamwork, and
And that dude had learned how to paint something upside down and then flips it upright, and everyone's like, ooh.
Well, that's impressive.
No, that's just a fucking parlor trick. Get the hell out of here.
I paid $10,000 for one of those.
All right, last story of the
Except
week.
a clown.
He was crying, but when he flipped it upright,
Yeah.
he was smiling.
Yeah, I'm wearing panties. Look, Brett, I don't make the art. I just appreciate it.
Hey, you know what? If it makes you feel something, that's art, right?
Yeah. Ask Larry Flint.
God damn it! I was waiting. You know, Mike. That's why I was quiet, because I knew it was coming. I knew there was some type of comment like that coming. God bless you for it.
Well,
I appreciate the consistency.
I'm gonna earn all my earn the money I make around here.
Don't worry, guys. Producer Dan's still working on the breaking news sound. I know it's taking him 23 and a half minutes so far, but eventually it'll come.
Involves a lot of ticking.
The last story we have is one that's been pissing me off the last couple of weeks, and we just haven't talked about it because it hasn't been a story worth talking about, but it won't die. I keep seeing new articles about it.
Yeah.
Have you seen any articles about the forever chemicals that they found in beer? They're talking about how beer has a higher than EPA standard levels of forever chemicals in it.
No. Beer's
right.
killing me?
Well, apparently, and it has higher level of the PFASs, PFAS, or however the hell you say it. perfluoroalkyl substances, polyfluoroalkyl substances, PFAS.
Yeah.
There's higher levels than the EPA recommends in every glass of beer.
It's probably beer then that is responsible for all the cancer rates and yeah,
beer's killing people.
Yeah.
Well, it is, but not because of PFAS. The thing that kills me here is that it's all bullshit clickbait headline stuff. In every single article about it, they link it back directly to city water every single time.
Oh.
They always say, it's probably because it's made with city water, which has higher than EPA level standards of PFAS in them. And you use city water to make beer.
I mean, most beer, good beer, is organic. So I was going to ask you where all the forever chemicals are coming from. Yeah. So it's coming from the goddamn city.
It's coming from the
city water supply.
Yes. So the water that comes out of your tap out of your house? Yeah, guess what? That also has a higher level of forever chemicals than the EPA allows. But you know who's not catching heat? Is a goddamn city or the county or whoever runs the municipal water in your place. This is bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. Like, it's just a hit piece on alcohol. Like, that's all it is. And you know what it does? It gives ammunition to these shittily run government organizations that are supposed to take care of our water, our drinking water, and then it gets them to attack us, and then it forces fines or levies more fucking infrastructure onto breweries that I shouldn't have to be doing, that the city should have to protect all of us. This is fucking bullshit. It's all bullshit.
First of all, Bret, all this government inefficiency that you speak of has been doged out. Secondly, I think that's my primary point. Yeah, it's pretty stupid that you're attacking. You're finding an easy target.
Yes.
For a more complicated and much more concerning problem.
This situation is way more insidious than brewers with forever chemicals. It's not like brewers aren't adding forever chemicals to their products. Everything's stainless that we work in. It's all metal. There's no plastic contamination. It's coming from the city. Yeah,
there shouldn't be anything coming out of malt or hops or yeast that has a bunch of crazy shit in it.
So it's all BS, but that's it for the week. So if you guys like what we're doing, like, comment, subscribe, do that whole thing. Check out our shorts. We put those out once a week or so. We're doing
the quick videos that we do.
The shorts?
Oh, I thought you were talking about footy. No, that's Eat My Shorts. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's the summertime soon, so our shorts catalog, which is going to be Mike and I wearing nothing but shorts, that'll also be dropping.
Oh, yeah, that's going to do well. We taste beers. We did the one that we just dropped this last week is seriously tackling in a dipshit way whether or not Mick Ultra and Natural Light are, in fact, truly the same beer. So you should watch to find out.
They might be.
We're highly skeptical, and we learned some things.
Yeah.
All
right. That's it. See you guys later.
We love you. Keep
Cheers.
being real.